back with Dr. Anthony, wrapping up a very good day of training. Remember, you can check that out on my Patreon channel. If you're having a hard time finding it, just go to my website, jeremiahbabe.com, and you'll see a Patreon link down there. Check it out. We're talking more about what's coming to America. But right now, let's talk with Dr. Anthony. 2021. Anthony, what do you see coming in 2021? Is it going to be better than 2020 or will it be worse?
I actually, I consider myself to be an optimistic person, but I do see it getting worse. Yeah, there could be a potential housing market crash. There could be some financial crashes as far as the value of the dollar or even the cryptocurrencies. Gold, silver, we don't know what's going to happen.
One thing I do believe we will see is the dollar getting weaker, coming under much more pressure. And I do see gold and silver continuing to surge upwards. Now, you're a big holder of cryptocurrencies, and you think that it could simmer down a little bit?
Well, if you've been in the cryptocurrency realm at all, then you've already seen it go up 40% and down 40% within a day, a week, a month. Like that could definitely still happen. I don't think we're to the end part yet. We're not to the clear sailing yet.
So we could see more volatility coming back in the cryptos.
Volatility. Very uncertain.
So as we enter 2021, I pray for this country, what we're going to see, especially economically here and socially and politically. But, how and what do we do to prepare? I make videos daily on preparation, and, I repeat the same thing on a daily basis. And I'm going to continue to do that, ladies and gentlemen, because if you watch the show, you may know what to do. But there are a lot of people right now who are lost, who have no idea what to do, who haven't heard this message, have no plan on what to do. And so I'm going to continue to do the best I can to wake people up.
Knowing what to do is not enough. Mm-hmm. Doing something. Do something about it. Knowing what to do is something. But you have to do something toward that. So every day, just like your shooting skills are a perishable skill, your vitamins are only going to last that day. You have to take them again tomorrow. Your physical fitness has to be worked on again tomorrow.
So that's an excellent point. A lot of people know what to do, but they won't do it. A lot of people are just not motivated to do anything. And there's people out there that believe that, well, I have a job right now, so this doesn't pertain to me. My life is okay. I'm working. I have an income. Why does any of this matter? And when you see the amount of people losing their jobs on a weekly basis in this country, nobody is immune from being unemployed. And 80% of this country is paycheck to paycheck. And that should really concern everybody in America, that we have so many people living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, because maybe it's not you losing the job, but your customers. What if it's the patrons that can no longer come to visit your business?
Right. Now it affects you, and it can affect you very, very quickly. And so, as a person, an individual, we got to think about not just ourselves, but what's happening to everybody else. Your neighbor might be out of a job. Somebody at your church is out of a job, a relative, and you think that can't happen to you. We have never seen what we are seeing take place, like what is happening right now here in America and across the globe. The economy has been absolutely hammered, and it's not done. We are going to see, I believe, some of the worst days ahead of us coming in 2021. You cannot have 22% of small business closed permanently, never coming back, tens of millions of people unemployed, people living paycheck to paycheck, food shortages, people depleting their savings and checking accounts, and not think that this isn't going to affect you or I at some point somehow.
All we need, we're just one news report away from the next toilet paper shortage.
Yep. And again, that's the typical American who believes that the best thing they can do is go to Costco and go stock up on toilet paper. That's going to save their life. That's how lost they are. That's the masses.
Because next time it's not going to be toilet paper.
Right. But when you don't have food, you're not going to need toilet paper. When you have absolutely no money, when things are getting crazy all over America, when the markets implode, when the pensions are crashing, you're not going to care about toilet paper. What you're going to care about is, do you have food? Do you have water? Do you have security?
And do you know your principles? Do you know what you stand for? What they're doing is very with this subterfuge, like it's like a spy operation. They're coming in and they're getting you to comply to the little things.
There is no doubt that this economy is going to change people's lives. It is going to make people have to live differently. Their standard of living is changing right now.
And they're changing it little by little, increment by increment, so you don't even realize.
Right, there's people out there that think everything's okay, but they don't even know. Their lifestyle is already changing, and they don't
because they don't know what liberty means.
They don't. I want to go over a couple articles with you. One of them on the AP. Unemployment benefits for millions in limbo as president rages. Now, here's another one. How Congress can give Americans $2,000 relief checks and cut ominous pork to pay for it. Now, I just want to go over this with you and let me know what you think about this. $26.5 billion for bilateral economic assistance abroad, not even here. We got $3.3 billion for global health programs. Global, not here. $4.4 billion for international disaster assistance. We're having an economic disaster right here in America. $3.4 billion for refugee assistance. What about our assistance, American assistance? I mean, this is absurd.
They name it things so that it looks good. It sounds good.
$1.7 billion for Jordan. $1.9 billion for international food aid. We got, over the holidays, there was a 15-block line in Chicago for food. And we're talking about food aid international. We got $35 billion in new clean energy initiatives to fight climate change.
Oh, yeah.
$740 million for education and cultural exchange. The schools aren't even open. So where is this money going to go? Could you imagine how much of this money is just going to seep between the cracks into people's pockets?
Money laundering.
Yeah, it's not going to go in your pocket. It won't be going in mine. We're just going to be paying for this for the rest of our lives. Your kids will be paying for it. $16 billion tax credit for businesses that hire individuals facing significant barriers to employment. $1 billion tax credit for special expensing rules for entertainment production. $19.2 billion to excess funding for the Department of Labor, Department of Education, Health, and et cetera. $6.9 billion in excess funding for energy and water development. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that there are things much more important than this, the American people being that. It's not going to go to help us. I mean, this is, what do you say about this? I mean, can you believe this? People should be outraged where their money is going.
But that's why they name it fund relief for orphan children or
Right.
whatever, because it's not. It's just a label.
Again, people should be so angry to where you're all going to pay for this for years. Your kids are going to pay for this. Credit applications are down and rejection rates are up. Credit card rejection rate is at 21%. What does that tell you? It's going to be quadruple this after all these moratoriums and forbearances expire. People's credit is going to be destroyed. They won't be able to get a credit card. They're not even going to be able to rent a room at that point. Credit card limit increase rejection rate. People who want to raise their credit limits is up 37%. Mortgage refinance rejection rate, 6%. Not that high, but many people now are running out of the credit cards. And what are they doing? They're running into refining their house. And this is, again, where we get these housing numbers, where the housing bubble, the housing boom is getting so big because they're counting these refis. People are using their homes as ATMs. Why? Because they need to. They need to use that money to pay the car payment, pay for food, essentials, pay medical bills, because they're out of a job, they're out of credit, they're out of money. So they go to the biggest ATM they have, and that's their home.
Yep, and that 6% that should have been 0% on the refi denials, that's because those people are you already have those.
They're
definitely out.
Yep. So that's a really concerning bellwether right there. And if we didn't learn our lesson in 2008 with refis, we're going to learn a bigger lesson this time around. But again, they've got people so desperate that they got to pull money out of the house now. And look, there are people pulling money out, buying toys, buying RVs, buying a vacation home, spending money on things they shouldn't be right now. And those people are going to really be in big trouble when this housing market corrects or crashes. And it's going to do both. I was reading an article on the next Great Depression, how it will be different than the last Great Depression. People are not prepared for this depression, Anthony. Why don't we talk about that?
You know, there's so many ways that the depression can hit. Like we already said, the housing, the economic, the food shortages, the next infection that they come out with. Like the downward spiral we're still a long way to go down where they want to put us.
And while we go down, there's going to be some significant differences with this depression compared to the depression of 29. National debt is about to hit $28 trillion.
Debt slavery. They want every human in these borders to be a debt slave.
It is going to be very difficult for a lot of people to survive a depression when we have this much debt. When you take in unfunded liabilities, you're looking at $156 trillion plus dollars. Average household has more than $15,000 of credit card debt. As we enter a Great Depression, how would you like to be entering it with $15,000 of credit card debt? And people go, I just won't pay it. Well, that's fine. Your credit's going to be destroyed. And now you're not going to have any ability to use a credit card. They're going to shut you right off. How do you rent a house? How do you rent an apartment if your credit cards are destroyed? How are you going to buy a house? How are you going to do anything if your credit is decimated? And people just go, I just won't pay.
Yeah. And that's because they're watching the federal government racking up the debt, and they think that they could do the same thing.
The federal government has a printing press. These people don't.
The federal government has the United States military, too.
Right. Average household debt now is $131,000. Half of Americans cannot cover a $400 emergency expense. You want to elaborate on that? That is so dangerous, entering what we are entering, and nearly half this country can't come up with $400.
Most people can't come up with $400, then those are the people that are going to be the easiest to manipulate. Because all they have to do is give you a whatever amount stimulus in exchange for your compliance with a certain medical injectable or anything like that in order to get money. That's what it's going to happen.
40% have zero in savings. 70% have less than $1,000.
Do you want to donate a kidney in order to get out of debt?
Yeah, maybe that'll be next.
That's what they would do.
24% don't even have a savings account. People are severely clueless as we head into the greatest depression in human history. And this should really be a wake-up call to everybody out there. You do not want to be entering the worst economic collapse with $15,000 of credit card debt, $20,000 massive mortgage debt, massive auto debt. I mean, these people are going to get absolutely slaughtered. I make these videos so that you are not one of these sheep. The masses are going to get absolutely wiped out here. You know, if your debts are paid down, if you have some money put away, if you have assets, I believe there's going to be huge opportunity. I really do. I believe that there's going to be opportunity, and I think that people are going to make a lot of money at the worst of times. And I don't, find it satisfying to capitalize on people's losses, but people need to wake up, man. People are putting themselves in this predicament. People are putting themselves in this situation, and there are going to be people that are going to take advantage of the biggest wealth transfer in human history. And you can be on the winning side of it, or you can be on the losing side of it. And unfortunately, many, many people, the masses, will be on the losing side of it. So many people heavily invested in the stock market have no idea how quick this thing can change. It's a rocket going up, but it's going to be a brick coming down, and it's going to come down fast. And people are not going to be able to get out fast enough.
There won't be enough time.
Where do you see the stock market going? I mean, it's going to continue to go up with all of this money printing and more of the stimulus that we're going to see going into 2021. But at some point, the party will be over. There will not be enough exits to get out. This bubble will burst. It's going to burst hard. And the people who are holding money, who are holding assets, who got out of this disaster in time are going to be the survivors. And, you know, obviously they're going to go back in and buy stocks up at pennies on the dollar. But the Robin Hooders, I see being decimated. Look, you know, when I'm at the gym, I'm hearing people just day trading at the gym. And, you know, so many of these people have no idea what they're doing. They don't know the dangers. They're making some money right now. People are being lured in. Again, you know, when you can't earn anything in a savings account, you know, people are desperate to, you know, to make a return on their money. So they're gambling at the biggest casino in the world, the stock market. And unfortunately, I think that there's going to be a lot of people that really get hurt here. And I know people are going to write me and tell me how much money they're making in the stock market. That's great. I'm going to go back. I mean, I do own mining stocks, and I'm heavily buying mining stocks because I believe they're on sale. But when this whole thing does collapse, I guarantee you I will be heavily investing in the stock market. But I won't be buying in the bubble. I will be buying at the basement, at the very, very bottom. And I'm going to scoop up as much of it as I can with real estate. What are you going to do?
You know, you don't want to be the last one to leave the party. That's what it is.
Right.
So, you know, better to leave a little early, better to take some profits every time you see something pop up. Don't just let it all ride. Like, for me, if it goes up a certain amount, then I want to take at least 5% and sell a little bit.
I mean, we see so many of the insiders who've already gotten out. And, you know, people don't have the supercomputers. They're not in the inside. They're not going to get out in time. And they're enjoying the party right now. They're drunk. You know, on all the excitement and making money, but many of them will be caught off guard and wake up one day and there will be no exit for them, and everything they made will be gone. And make sure, if you're in it, take some profits and make sure that you're taking those profits and you're buying other assets, whether that's cryptos. I'm a big gold and silver guy. You're gold, silver, crypto. So, you know, diversification is key. Have some cash. Have some gold, have some silver, have some cryptos, you know, whatever. I mean, look at the 1%, man. They're buying collectible cars, they're buying art, they're buying farms, they're buying ranches, they're buying gold, they're buying silver, they're buying cryptos. They're into everything. So diversification is one of the best assets I think you can have. Don't put all your money in one place.
And don't just don't get greedy when it's going up and think you're just going to ride it out. And because we've already had a little bit of that happening in the crypto.
Everybody already forgot about what happened in the market back in March. We lost 30%. Like that, how fast this thing can come down. But people, again, have already forgotten. They're drunk on this momentum with the surging stock market and all of the stimulus. But don't forget, we're paying a big price. Wall Street is sacrificing Main Street. All these small business owners and medium businesses and restaurants and retailers all over America are being absolutely annihilated while Wall Street is going up. And the 1% will get out before everybody else, and they're going to leave the 99% holding the bag. So be ready for that. Protect yourself, diversify, have some money on the sidelines, pull some profits out, and make sure that you have all preparations like food, water, and security, and take care of your body and walk close to God.
Excellent, exactly. So, you know, you're the only one who can save yourself. You're the only one who knows the right decision for you as far as how to place your finances, how to diversify, how to be prepared.
Yeah.
So do something.
We're not giving anybody advice. We're just telling you what we're doing and thinking out loud here. And just making sure that everybody's being very, very careful. So I think we're going to leave it there. Sun's going down. We had a really good day. We're going to see what the new year brings into America. I think it's going to be absolutely chaotic. So prepare the best that you can, ladies and gentlemen. Walk close to God, say your prayers, and be very, very cautious.